Few disputes have shaped the social and political landscape of a nation as profoundly as the Ram Mandir case in India. This case, stretching over a span of multiple decades, has been a cornerstone in India's history, leaving a lasting imprint on its society and political scene. The case is centered around a sacred site in Ayodhya, believed by many to be the birthplace of Lord Rama, a major deity in Hinduism. The resonance of this case, however, extends far beyond its religious implications. It has grown into a symbol of cultural identity, national unity, and political power. For many Indians, it's not just a legal dispute, but an emotional journey that taps into their deepest sense of cultural and religious belonging. The Ram Mandir case serves as a testament to the intricate interplay of history, religion, and politics in shaping a nation's narrative. Now let us journey back in time to unravel the events of this landmark case. Our story begins in the 16th century, with the construction of the Babri Masjid in Ayodhya. This was not just any mosque, but one that would become the focal point of a religious controversy that would simmer for centuries. Babri Masjid, named after the Mughal Emperor Babur, was built in the city of Ayodhya, a place deeply intertwined with the mythology of Hinduism. According to the Ramayana, one of the two major Sanskrit epics of ancient India, Ayodhya was the birthplace of Lord Ram, a revered deity in Hinduism. The mosque stood tall and proud for centuries, a symbol of Mughal architecture and Islamic influence in India. However, beneath the surface, a controversy was brewing. Local folklore and certain historical records claimed that the Babri Masjid was not originally a mosque, but the site of a grand temple dedicated to Lord Ram. The narrative that the mosque was built after demolishing a pre-existing temple began to gain traction in the late 18th century. This theory was fueled by the discovery of carvings and inscriptions that suggested the presence of a Hindu temple beneath the mosque. The controversy wasn't just about bricks and mortar, it was an embodiment of the age-old Hindu-Muslim divide that has shaped India's socio-political landscape. It was a question of religious identity, historical accuracy, and the right to worship. As the whispers of the past grew louder, the contention surrounding the Babri Masjid became a public issue. The site became a symbol of religious supremacy, a battleground for faiths, and a test of the secular fabric of India. While the 16th century saw the construction of the Babri Masjid, the 18th and 19th centuries witnessed the birth of a controversy that would shape the destiny of the site. The whispers turned into claims, and the claims turned into disputes. As we move into the 19th century, the dispute over the site intensified, marking the beginning of a legal battle that would span over a century. In 1859, the British colonial administration erected a fence at the disputed site, leading to separate worship areas for Hindus and Muslims. This was a pivotal moment, marking the beginning of a legal struggle that would span centuries. The unease had been brewing for decades, but it wasn't until 1885 that the first court case was initiated. Mahant Raghubar Das, a Hindu priest, filed a suit seeking permission to build a temple on the plot of land adjacent to the mosque. The court, however, dismissed the suit, citing the potential for disruption to communal harmony. Despite the dismissal, the tension did not ease. As the years rolled on, the dispute only intensified. Flash forward to the year 1949, when an event occurred that would forever change the course of this battle. In a surprising turn of events, idols of Hindu deities mysteriously appeared inside the mosque. This caused a massive uproar, leading the British administration to lock the gates of the disputed site, forbidding any form of religious activity. This move was met with widespread discontent, prompting legal cases from both Hindu and Muslim communities. The Hindus claimed that the site was the birthplace of Lord Rama, a revered deity in Hinduism, and sought the right to worship there. On the other hand, the Muslims argued that the site housed the Babri Masjid, a mosque built by Mughal Emperor Babur, and should remain as such. These claims and counterclaims added layers of complexity to the issue, making it a hotbed of religious, historical, and legal debate. The British administration's decision to lock the gates did little to quell the unrest. Instead, it merely put a pause on the outward expression of the dispute. As India gained independence, the dispute over the site remained unresolved, setting the stage for a contentious legal battle in independent India. The year 1992 marked a turning point in the Ram Mandir case, with the demolition of the Babri Masjid. This was an event that triggered a seismic shift, not just in the case, but in the nation's socio-political landscape as well. Leading up to this, there was a mounting tension. a palpable unrest. The Vishwa Hindu Parishad, VHP, a right-wing Hindu nationalist organization, had launched a campaign for the construction of a temple at the disputed site. This campaign was not just rooted in religious sentiment, but was also intertwined with the broader narrative of reclaiming cultural and historical identity. On December 6, 1992, a large crowd of Kar Sevaks, or religious volunteers, descended upon Ayodhya, with the intent of performing a symbolic religious ceremony at the site. However, the situation quickly escalated. The crowd, driven by fervor and passion, demolished the Babri Masjid, believing it to be built on the ruins of a temple marking the birthplace of Lord Ram. The demolition sparked nationwide riots, with communities torn apart by violence and fear. The conflict was no longer confined to the courtroom. It had spilled onto the streets, tearing through the fabric of the nation. In response to this escalating crisis, the central government, led then by Prime Minister P.V. Narasimha Rao, decided to acquire the disputed land, along with the surrounding areas. This was a move aimed at calming the tempestuous waters, an attempt to wrest control from the clashing communities and restore law and order. However, this decision further complicated the Ram Mandir case. Now, it wasn't just about who had a historical or religious claim to the site, but also about who had the legal right to it. The dispute was no longer just a religious one. It had evolved into a complex legal quagmire, with the government, religious groups, and the courts all entangled in it. With the land now under government control, the stage was set for a legal resolution to the dispute. The turning point had been reached, and the path forward, though steeped in controversy and complexity, was now centered on finding a legal solution to this enduring conflict. After decades of legal proceedings, the Supreme Court of India delivered its verdict on the Ram Mandir case on November 9, 2019. This day marked a historic moment, a turning point in a centuries-long dispute that had divided the nation along religious lines. The Supreme Court, after exhaustive examination of evidence and arguments, gave a unanimous decision. The disputed land, with a history steeped in belief and contention, was granted to a trust for the construction of a Ram temple. This was a verdict of immense significance, not just for the people who had fought tirelessly for the cause, but also for the entire nation. The court's decision was based on a comprehensive review of archaeological findings, historical records, and legal documents. The decision was also influenced by the belief of millions of people that the site was the birthplace of Lord Ram, a significant deity in Hinduism. The court recognized this belief as an integral part of India's cultural and religious fabric. However, the court was mindful of the need for balance and justice. It acknowledged that the demolition of the Babri Masjid in 1992 was a violation of the law. In a move towards restitution, it ordered the allocation of an alternate 5 acres of land in Ayodhya for the construction of a mosque. This verdict was not just about land or religion. It was about the rule of law, the principles of justice, and the collective conscience of a nation. It was a testament to India's democratic ethos and its commitment to secularism. The verdict sparked a wave of reactions across the nation and beyond. While it was met with jubilation by some, others expressed disappointment. Yet it was largely accepted with grace and maturity, reflecting the resilience of India's diverse society. The verdict marked the end of a centuries-long dispute and the beginning of a new chapter in Ayodhya's history. A chapter that, it is hoped, will be written with the ink of harmony, understanding, and mutual respect. The Ram Mandir case is more than just a legal dispute. It's a testament to the complexity of India's cultural and religious history. This case, stretching back over several decades, highlighted the intricate ties between faith, history, and law. It revealed the depth of religious sentiments and the potential for tension in a diverse society. The verdict, while solving a long-standing dispute, also underscored the role of the judiciary in upholding secular values in a democratic nation. It emphasized the importance of evidence-based adjudication, even in matters of faith. The case's impact resonates across the Indian society and polity, prompting a re-evaluation of the relationship between religion and state. It serves as a potent reminder of the need for dialogue, tolerance, and understanding in navigating complex social issues. As we reflect on this landmark case, we are reminded of the power of dialogue, tolerance, and understanding in resolving the most deeply entrenched disputes.